Listen up. In this video, we're diving into a cognitive bias that often flies under the radar but can cost us big time in life. By the end of this video, you'll walk away with practical steps to tackle this weakness head on. If you're ready to break free from the herd and start thinking for yourself, let's jump right in. Which orange circle looks bigger to you? Spoiler alert, they're exactly the same size. If you're not convinced, cover both circles with your thumbs and see for yourself. No difference at all. So, why does the orange circle on the right seem larger? When a circle is surrounded by larger circles, it seems smaller. When surrounded by smaller circles, it appears larger. A fascinating trick of the human brain known as a visual illusion. Our brains constantly evaluate things in relation to their surroundings. We compare everything to something else. Think about it. Why did you choose one person to fall for over someone else? Why do we care so much about what others think? And why do people make such irrational choices with their money? Dan Ariely's book, Irrational but Predictable, delves into these questions and more about human behavior's irrational tendencies. Ariely himself endured a life-altering experience. A flare explosion left 70% of his body covered in third-degree burns, requiring 3 years of hospitalization wrapped in bandages. During this time, he began observing human behavior from an outsider's perspective. This book emerged from those observations. In our daily lives, we often act irrationally without even noticing it, just like Neo taking the red pill in The Matrix. Awareness changes everything. Once you recognize these traps, rational choices become clearer and easier to make. Let's dig deeper into understanding how to win more and lose less by mastering our cognitive biases. Let's check out an old magazine subscription ad from The Economist. 1. Online subscription, $59. 2. Print magazine subscription, $125. 3. Print and online subscription, $125. The first offer, an online subscription for $59, sounds pretty reasonable. The second option, a print magazine subscription for $125, feels a bit expensive. The third option bundles both the print magazine and online subscription for the same price as the second one. Doesn't that seem strange? Who in their right mind would pick just the print subscription when both are the same price? Did The Economist make a simple typo? I don't think so. It's clear they're using a clever strategy to influence decision-making. But how? Here, there's no absolute value to tell us how much something is worth on its own. Instead, we focus on how one option stacks up against another and base our judgment on that. For example, we might not immediately recognize that the $59 online subscription is a better deal than the $125 print-only option in the second row. However, it's much easier to see that the $125 print and online bundle in the third row is better than the second row option. Logically, you'd figure that the online subscription is basically free with the bundle. You might even think to yourself, this is a steal, don't miss out. So what's happening here? Most people don't know what they want until they see it in context. Deciding between online-only and print-only options requires some thought, and thinking can be challenging or even tedious at times. The marketers at The Economist were offering us an easy choice. The print and online bundle clearly looks better than the print-only option. When these options were presented to MIT business students in America, the first option, online only, was chosen by 16 students. The third option, bundle subscription, was preferred by 84 students. No one chose the second option, print only. Did the second option, the decoy, influence their decisions? To find out, they were asked to choose again after removing the second option. This time, 68 students chose the first option, online only. Only 32 students chose the third option, bundle subscription. Clearly, the decoy had influenced their choices. Keep in mind that these participants were MIT students, a highly educated audience, yet they could still be swayed by such tactics. Imagine what could be done with ordinary people. Bottom line, we compare the value of things based on what's around them. So how do we break free from this illusion? We should start moving into smaller circles if we want to feel relatively happier. For example, if you're shopping for a new house, avoid options that go beyond your needs. If you're looking for a car, Stick to models that fit comfortably within your budget. Just by watching this video or reading the book we're discussing, you'll gain new insights and expand your perspective, and that's already a win. Let's break this down with an example and uncover the traps. Today, you have two tasks to complete. The first is buying a new pen, and the second is purchasing a suit for work. Imagine you're at a stationery store and find a nice pen for $30. Just as you're about to buy it, you remember another store 15 minutes away sells the same pen for $20. What would you do? Would you take the 15-minute trip to save $10? Most people would say yes. Now let's move on to your second task, buying a suit. You find an elegant suit priced at $500 and decide to buy it. However, another customer whispers that the same suit is available for $490 at another store 15 minutes away. Would you make this second 15-minute trip? Most people say they wouldn't in this scenario. So what's going on here? Is your time worth $10 or not? In reality, $10 is still $10. It doesn't matter how you calculate it. The only question you should ask yourself in these examples is traveling across town and spending an additional 15 minutes worth saving that extra $10? Whether you're saving it from $30 or $500 doesn't change its value. This illustrates the problem of relativity. Thinking in relative terms comes naturally to us, but constantly comparing everything can trap us in an endless cycle. For example, you might buy a car but end up feeling dissatisfied because your neighbor's car looks better. If you then buy their car model, it might lose its appeal when compared to your colleague's car at work. This isn't about promoting gratitude, but rather recognizing that sometimes appreciating what we have and avoiding constant comparisons can prevent logical errors and bring peace of mind. The only way out of this endless cycle is to break free from the relativity loop. One of the main ideas explored in the book is the concept of the supply and demand fallacy. If you want someone to crave something, just make it harder to get. Let's take a look at the story of black pearls. In 1973, Jean-Claude Brulé sailed his yacht to an island where the beaches were teeming with oysters. These oysters held a hidden treasure, black pearls. Back then, Tahitian black pearls had no market, and demand was practically non-existent. Brulé struggled to sell these pearls despite his efforts. Finally, he and his friend Assal devised a strategy. They attached high-price tags to the pearls and displayed them in the window of a luxury department store. They even ran a full-page ad in one of the era's top luxury magazines, featuring Tahitian black pearls glimmering among diamonds, rubies, and emeralds. Soon enough, these black pearls adorned the elegant necks of the city's wealthiest women. Assal had transformed an item of uncertain value into something remarkably elegant and desirable by making it harder to get. Dan Ariely describes this phenomenon as an anchoring effect. In this story, some of the world's finest jewels acted as anchors, steadily pushing prices upward. Similarly, when purchasing a new product, we often use a specific price as a reference point, or anchor, and base our decisions on it. What if I asked you to jot down the last 2 digits of your social security number and then decide if you'd pay that amount for something like a pen? Could just thinking about that number affect how much you'd spend? It might sound absurd, but experiments conducted in the US have tested this scenario. Participants were asked to jot down their last 2 social security digits and then decide whether they'd pay that amount for a product. The findings were striking. Individuals with higher digits, e.g., 80 to 99, made higher bids compared to those with lower digits, e.g., 1 to 20. Interestingly, most participants claimed their social security numbers didn't influence their final bids. However, the results clearly showed manipulation at play. In conclusion, these manipulation techniques can be wielded both positively and negatively. The first step in overcoming both relativity fallacies and anchoring effects is awareness of their existence. The gateway to happiness and prosperity begins with living a life rooted in awareness.